Hello and welcome to another episode of AshRecaps. Today I'm going to recap a horror action film from 2013 called I Spit on Your Grave 2. Spoilers ahead, watch out, relax and enjoy the video. The film begins with Katie, who is shown to be a sweet young lady that works in a cafe, but she aspires to be a model. She also informs her friend about it, who suggests that she plan a photo shoot. Katie notices an ad there. She makes a mental note of their phone number. Katie sees their page when she gets home and it appeals to her. Katie calls the phone number and also sends them a portfolio of her photos. They like her photos and invite her to the studio at 10 a.m. Katie goes there the next morning. There was a strange shoot going on there. Katie, on the other hand, meets with 3 boys. They were siblings. One is a curly-haired boy named Ivan and another is his brother. Katie has also brought some clothing. Ivan requests that she wear a lovely dress from that collection. Ivan appears unhappy when Katie wears the dress. He asks her to wear a shorter dress than this. Katie was a nice girl, but she can't do this just to become a model, so she walks away from there without saying anything. She also abandons her dream to become a model. The next day she went jogging, and when she returned, someone knocked on her door. He's the brother of Ivan. He hands her a USB drive with her photos in it. Katie says she doesn't need them, and the curly-haired boy says, "Don't worry, we deleted your photos, and as a result you will not feel bad. You can see your photographs here." Katie accepts the USB. The curly-haired boy was looking at Katie's pictures in a dark and silent room, which means that he has not deleted the pictures. On the other hand, when Katie goes out of her house at night to throw out the garbage, the curly-haired boy takes advantage of the opportunity and enters her apartment. Katie is unaware of this and continues to sleep when she wakes up in the middle of the night. She notices the curly-haired boy photographing her. She comes to a halt and slashes his face with tasers. She's now attempting to escape from the house. She screams as well, but the curly-haired boy covers her mouth. He drags her into the house and misbehaves with her, beating and even kicking her. He also shoves a piece of cloth in her mouth and requests that she remain silent. He ties her hands behind her back and tortures her once more. He threatens to kill her if she makes a sound. Suddenly, a neighbor arrives after hearing Katie's voice, but the curly-haired boy stabs him in the stomach several times and kills him. He then cuts her face with a knife. He realizes his error after some time, so he screams, sobs, and then summons his brothers, including Ivan. They get there right away, and instead of reprimanding him, they begin removing his fingerprints and take away all evidence that can be used to prove that their brother committed the murder. They chose a knife and put Katie's fingerprints on it and place it near the dead body of her neighbor so it'll look like as Katie has killed him and escaped. After it, they drugged Katie and took her with them somewhere. When Katie comes to her senses, she notices that Ivan is taking advantage of her. Other brothers of Ivan started doing creepy things to her, including spitting and urinating on her. They leave from there, but Katie's condition had deteriorated and she was distraught. Sometime later, the curly-haired boy comes again and gives Katie some new clothes, but this time Katie attacks and hits the guy on his head. She screams as she exits the house and meets a sheriff and a detective. The detective takes her to the office with him. Fortunately, he's a decent individual. Meanwhile, a lady enters the detective's office and states that I am a lady, and I have experienced something similar in the past, so allow me to speak with Katie so that she feels better. The lady is permitted by the detective, but she wasn't a good person though, because she was the mother of those boys. Katie will be trapped here once again. She insists that Katie sits in her car. Katie informs her that she wishes to visit the American embassy. She tells her not to worry and immediately calls someone on the phone. She says that we're going to my home right now. You can clean yourself up and then we can go to the American embassy later. Katie trusts her, and this becomes her biggest mistakes, because the lady was in fact the mother of the boy with curly hair. She was also Ivan's stepmother, which means that Ivan and the boy with the curly hair are stepbrothers. The lady then takes Katie to a basement, which is the same place where Katie was previously held captive. Ivan is once again holding Katie, and then their mother spits on her. Shortly after, Ivan's father arrives and begins to torture her as well. He gives Katie electric shocks multiple times, including on her private parts, and treats her miserably. On the other hand, we see Ivan's mother entering her room, and she was crying while playing some music, which indicates that she was also forcing herself to do this task, and she was also under the thumb of others. Even though Katie's condition had worsened, but Ivan continued to beat her while his brothers were digging a hole in the ground. Once done, they lock Katie in a box and bury her in the ground while she was still alive. Luckily, there was a huge stone in the grave. While Katie was waiting to die, the stone falls due to the weight of the box, and the box also falls and opens up. Katie manages to crawl out of it. She looks around and finds out that it was the sewerage line. Katie becomes happy and feels some courage. She begins to look for a door from which she can get out. After some time, she finds a door, and when she opens it, she finds herself in a church. She also meets a father there, and after seeing her condition, he talks to her nicely. He provides her with warm clothing and food. He knew Katie wouldn't trust anyone at this point, so he stops talking to her and lets her go from there. Katie leaves, but soon returns to the church. The father suggests that they should call the police so that they can assist her, but Katie refuses him, and then quotes the Bible, "Make it clear that the enemies will be punished." Katie breaks into Ivan's house and steals some money. The following morning, she visits the coffee shop where the curly-haired boy was sitting. He notices Katie and gets shocked. He pursues her because it looks like she's still alive. Katie visits the sewerage line once again, and the guy continues to follow her. Katie arrives here fully prepared. She knocks him out while putting a rope around his neck. She tortures him and uses a knife to cut his body from different places and leaves him there bleeding. On the other side, she enters the bar and approaches Ivan's brother who was drinking. She invites him to drink some more. Soon he goes to the restroom because he feels like vomiting. Katie walks behind him, locks him in the bathroom, then opens the door and pushes his head into an unflushed toilet. His condition deteriorates due to the odor and shortness of breath, and he perishes there. It was now Ivan's father's turn because he had messed up with Katie as well. Katie lures him into the sewage line and also causes him to pass out after hitting him on the head with a stone. She gives him the same electric shocks he had given her. Later, she starts a massive electrical machine and places one wire in his mouth and the other on the iron bed to increase the current, which causes Ivan's father to perish in flames. Katie now goes to the basement to exact revenge on the lady. She puts on a song. The lady arrives in the basement after hearing the noise. When the lady notices Katie outside the box, Katie pushes her back inside, picks up the box's door, and repeatedly hits the lady on the head. The lady faints at this point. Meanwhile, Ivan enters the basement and reaches the sewage line. He finds out that his curly-haired brother is faint due to severe pain. Meanwhile, the detective can be seen talking to the father. He seems to be aware of the situation, so he also reaches the sewage line to assist Katie. Katie has murdered the curly-haired boy in order to torture the lady. She's also apprehended Ivan. She begins crushing his body parts in a pressing machine. Just as the detective arrives at the scene, Ivan manages to grab Katie and continues to press against her neck. The detective shoots Ivan in the head and saves Katie. He then apologizes to Katie for not being able to help her at the time she came to him. But Katie remains silent because she has done it all by herself. Katie walks outside and smiles. It was a calm smile because she exacted her vengeance on the evil people. She heads towards the American embassy. She was unconcerned about the punishment because she believed that those rapists deserved it, so she informs the people present there that she has committed murders, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to watch more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and click the bell icon to turn on notifications. We'll see you with another amazing video soon. Take care and goodbye.